All right, we're live. Let's make sure this is going out okay onto the old YouTubes. Come on. Come on. All right, sounds all right. I'll try and keep an eye on the chat, make sure I don't go robot. Hopefully the dog shuts the hell up for once. All right, so first things first. I got a bit of a pet peeve. Something bugging me a little bit lately. And I got to get it off my chest, as it were. This sort of trad right scene, like hyper traditionalist scene, you know the types. You know who I'm talking about. You know, usually Catholic or Orthodox, because of course they are. And, you know, they usually have like some Twitter profile that's like, you know, it's usually like, I don't know, some painting of some upper class guy from the 1400s. Pardon me, sorry. And the thing is, these guys, they're usually just, they're just increasingly insufferable. They've become sort of, I don't, like a right-wing theistic version of fedoras. They're all, you know, it's become sort of a face when too smart type of crowd. And what I mean by being fedoras, that scene has become nothing but an excuse for a bunch of dorks, a bunch of spurgs with no accomplishments and no life experience to get some sort of unearned sense of superiority. And I say become, maybe it's always been that. But that's sure as hell what it is now. Somebody in the comments, and I've been sort of talking about this a little bit, but somebody in the comments on the one video was like, yeah, you know, the guy disdained for plebs on Facebook and I guess Twitter, I don't know. You know, I thought he was some southern pardon me. I thought he was some southern gentleman. I come to find out he's some 19-year-old kid. I'm like, they all are. They fucking all are. These are just right-wing fedoras in temperament, if not beliefs. You know, they want more than anything else to feel smarter than everybody else. And I got to say, it's been bugging the hell out of me. I mean, like I said, the disdain for plebs guy, you know, turned out to. So apparently, I'm almost certain Earl of Grey, if he's older than 20, I'd be fucking shocked. I'd be especially shocked if that guy's ever fucking kissed a girl. And I mean, he posts some good content, but I don't know how else to say it. It's like, you know, fucking maybe live a little bit of life. You know, you're so arrogant. You're so up your own ass. And you got most of these guys have got nothing. What the fuck have you done? You know, I'm about ready to. I kind of said this on Gab, but you know, I'm going to make a more comprehensive list. I'm about ready to make like a list of things where it's like if you haven't done 2 or 3 of the things on this list, I don't want to hear you tell me how the fucking world works. All right. If you haven't kissed, if you haven't made love to a woman, if you haven't served in the military or worked construction, if you haven't been in a fist fight, if you haven't fired a gun, if you're not older than 25, those are just a few things on my list where it's like, if you're not like at least 2 of these, like get out of my fucking face. You know? You know, live your fucking life. I don't want to hear from somebody. There's something to be said for paying your dues, as it were. You know, and yeah, I don't want to hear from somebody that is too afraid to go talk to a girl. How I don't want to hear him larping on fucking Twitter how he's going to reclaim the Holy Lamb for the Roman Catholic Church. Shut up, dude. Like, I don't know, just like I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna make a comprehensive list of like 20 fucking things, and I'm just gonna expect you to have like 2 of them checked off. All right, just a list of things that make you in some close proximity to being a fucking man. All right, just a list of these things, and like I said, I just want a couple. I just want you to check off a couple before you come to me like you got the fucking mysteries of the universe unraveled. It's just an arrogance that I can't. It's just becoming insufferable anymore, and it is the exact same kind of arrogance as the fucking fedoras. It's the same thing. I got it all figured out. I'm smarter than everybody, and it's always fucking Orthodox and Catholics because of fucking course it is. I mean, and it's basically they're basically the same thing. Now, don't get me wrong. The Orthodox are nowhere near as an organization are nowhere near as systematically corrupt as the Catholic Church. Nowhere near. But theologically, I mean, it's Coke and Pepsi. The flavor's a little different, but they're both basically fucking poison. Um, but yeah, it's just over and over again. It's like, yes, please, autistic kid who larps like it's the 1400s, and you know, uh, yes, please tell me all about your philosophy on how the Enlightenment was the worst thing to happen to mankind. And I just sit here and have to fight the urge to say, why don't you go enlighten yourself as to what a pussy feels like? Ugh. And I mean, I'm not saying go out there and be an irresponsible jackass. It's just like, yeah, if you're saving yourself to your marriage, that's a wonderful thing. Believe me, there's many a time I kind of wish I did that. Um, but at the very least, be the fucking kind of man that could get his dick wet if he wanted to. How about that? How about you be the kind of man that's at least got the opportunity? Okay, because there's no virtue in fucking celibacy that has been thrust upon you by situation. Okay. I don't know. I'm so frustrated. Well, that's just a little something I had to get off my chest. For the love of God, guys, just go outside once in a while. All right, go message Aaron Clary. Have him drag you on a death march up a mountain or something. Work construction. Be around guys that how do physical labor where you hear guys curse a lot around you and shit like that. I mean, just I don't know. Just go fucking live life. So I'm Luke might hop into this stream too, by the way. So it'd be cool if he could throw up some pictures for this. But I will definitely talk about it Friday because it's fucking batshit crazy. And this is kind of old news, all right? But you know, as they used to say on TV when they were advertising the reruns for the summer, if you haven't seen it, it's new to you. So I wasn't aware of this. But and people are talking about NeoGaf in the chat. Yeah, I'll talk about NeoGaf here. But I kind of stumbled across a channel recently, and I'd seen some stuff from it before, but the channel's I Hate Everything. And I was going through it because I watched a bunch of them last night. He had like a search for the worst, where he's going through the bottom 100 of the the IMDb movies, like movie rankings. And he did one on a movie called Cool Cat Saves the Kids. Now, this was back in 2015. He did this review. Again, I haven't really watched a ton of his stuff before. I was just kind of, I don't know. I was, sort of laying in bed last night, couldn't sleep, so I ended up like watching a bunch of his videos in a row. Trying to calm down the old brain. I was trying to get to bed early because I knew I'd have church in the morning. But didn't exactly pan out, the whole getting to bed early. But anyways, I watched a bunch of his videos, and the Cool Cat Saves the Kids, right? So it's this movie in the loosest sense of the word, where this guy, Daddy Derek, not to be confused with Daddy 05, like in the movie, he's married to a fucking furry cat lady, right? Like his wife is in this furry, like fursona suit, and their son, I guess it is Cool Cat, who's this other like orange cat furry person who gives these like weird sort of lessons to kids about bullying and like if you find a gun in the garden or something. It's really fucking weird, right? And it's poorly done. It lacks any kind of fucking like it's like a space alien who's only sort of fucking familiar with humanity. Like it's like you had fucking Lieutenant Commander Data create a kids show. It's that just sort of off, and so there's lots of weird things about it, like because I looked into the guy a little bit before I went to bed, and I then messaged Luke, and I'm like, we gotta talk about this. I want to see if I can like, I don't know if he'll get up my ass with a copyright strike or something, but I'd love to just like live react to the fucking movie on a stream or something because it's amazing. It's some top shelf autism. I mean, it's the premium stuff. You only break out on your birthday kind of autism. It's that top shelf, bottle of autism right here. And what's really weird about it is it looks like he filmed this movie on a budget of, after the fur fag costumes, about $104, right? But then there's like, he's been interviewed on like Fox News about his stuff, and he's like, there's recognizable celebrities in this fucking movie. Vivica Fox and Eric Estrada are in it, which I know are not huge names, but they're, they're like, it looks like some maniac threw this together, with completely amateurish. And then there's hints where it's like somehow this guy has professional ties. It's so weird. Yeah, it's Cool Cat is fucking weird. And apparently the Cool Cat Saves the Kid movie, it got first reviewed by yourmoviesucks.org, I guess, or .com or whatever. Your Movie Sucks, the YouTube channel. It got reviewed by them, and he didn't seem to mind that. And then it got reviewed by the I Hate Everything guy, and this Daddy Derek guy just lost his shit and started going after him hardcore. And apparently had this big fight with the I Hate Everything guy for a while, like this big feud. Was trying to shut down his channel and shit. It's really weird. Like, I'm looking into it more, and I realize it's like old news. This is all like 2015, like, you know. But I didn't know anything about it, so you know, I found it extremely fucking amusing. Like, I want to interview this dude if I could. Like, I'd love to get him on the channel, and like, because he's clearly a dangerously insane individual. There's a scene, and again, this is a movie that, I mean, is geared towards preschoolers, you know. I mean, this is obvious. This is like, you know, fucking Oogie Love's age group, okay? And there is a scene where he's like weirdly fucking flirting with the woman in the furry cat suit. It's, I don't even know how to describe some of those scenes. Like, I really want to sit down and watch the whole fucking thing. It's a brief glimpse into the mind of a maniac. So, the other big news is Neo-Fag is dead. Neo-Gaff, whatever. I'll be honest with you. I never posted on the. I don't believe I've ever been to that site once. No, you little brat. You're not chewing on my headphones. Like, I've never been to Neo-Gaff once. I don't, you know, I'm not one to be on message boards in the first place that much, but it collapsed. Who is fucking Skyping me? Oh, Rooney wants on. Okay. Yeah, buddy, I know you can't really sit on my lap when I'm on the office chair. It doesn't work that well. You're too big for this. Hang on. All right, Rooney wants in. I'll let him in. Damn, he's messaging the fuck out of me. Somebody says press P to piss on Neo-Gaff's grave. Yeah, apparently there was once again, fucking male feminists turn out to be just the, you know, everything feminists say about men is true when you consider, you know, when you apply it to the type of men they hang around. Somebody says pictures of the dog, please. You know, he's a little smaller in build, but he looks a lot like Loki. He's the same color, same breed. He's a little skinnier in build, though. Loki had a little more meat on him, a little more stock, a little more muscle to him. And I guess a little more fat towards the end because you got the fucking movie Bob Diabeto. Be careful, the Bechtloff. That furry's blood will be on your hand. Yeah, I watched a lot of Jim's stream on it last night. Which, I mean, that's basically, if you watch Jim's stream on it, you know as much as I do. Because I've never really been to this site. I know it was one of the more obnoxious liberal hug boxes. But I never really been to it. I don't, you know, I wouldn't likely, I wouldn't probably end up being on a good forum. I mean, hell, the Roosh forum is full of all kinds of interesting stuff, and I never even go on there. And I have a membership on it. I mean, just from being a reaction writer back a couple years ago, I got it. Somebody says, by the way, H-Hand docks the furry. Oh my God, you should have seen it. Fucking furries. What is wrong with those guys? I saw some like little web comic where it was like, a young Indian man is, he's got to go out into the desert to like meet his spirit animal. He's the son of the chief and all, and he's gonna get ready to lead the tribe. And he goes out into the desert, and his spirit animal is this like totally like gay furry drawing. And he comes back in shame, and he says to his father, like, I cannot lead this tribe.
Wasn't that Catherine Janeway?
No, she turned into
her spirit animal was a newt.
Well, she turned into a newt, but she got better.
Honest to God, brother, one of the least degenerate people I know on Twitter is a furry.
Not all furries. Hashtag.
Alt furry.
Alt furry.
That's a thing. And the strange creature known as the sneaky puka is actually very not degenerate. I'll take him over Richard Spencer.
Oh, I mean, you're setting a low bar there, but all right. I mean, honestly, if I was going to follow an attention whore cocksucker, I'd follow Milo. At least he's funny.
And gets less people murdered.
Yeah, I'm not as likely to get killed following Milo around.
So we now have the toll right now in Richard Spencer is one person dead from a heart attack, not like 20 people injured by car ramming, and 4 people in prison. No, 5 people in prison.
And yet Richard Spencer walking around still on Twitter. I've been thrown off Twitter, but Richard Spencer's still on Twitter.
Still presumably friends with the Bush family.
Isn't that all very interesting?
But you know what? You and I are opportunists and infiltrators.
I don't even want to be part of no club.
No.
I don't know how much I was ever in it in the first place, but I officially washed my hands of the alt-right and have for a while. Hell, the manosphere didn't turn to as much shit towards the end as the alt-right.
Oh, God. The worst that happened to the manosphere was a bunch of red pill wives desperately trying to attract alpha males by bragging about being wives to their beta husbands.
At least it didn't end up with fucking satanic faggots in it. Oh, let's see. Says who's Grinder Greg? That's good old. He's the leader of the alt-right, don't you know?
He's the natural aristocracy of the white race.
Can we talk about how the left?
Wait. Coyote Con just said QQ. That's the furry I was referring to. QQ was denounced by Richard Spencer.
Huh. How about that?
You guys need to go subscribe to QQ. He's got some really, really solid material out there.
Somebody said in here, can we talk about how the left loves genocidal W. Bush? That is kind of interesting. I saw the one meme where it was a picture of George Bush at like that speech where he was bitching about Trump, and it says, mute man miraculously starts speaking after 8 years. It's like, really, you didn't feel the need to criticize the last guy, but this guy's too far. Like I remember that picture where it showed like the 5 living ex-presidents, and it was like all these men are against Trump, and I'm like, that's a ringing endorsement because basically they all should hang, in my opinion.
Yeah, I've got no issue with that. Just please, could we toss Truvada Trudeau onto that list?
That'll be the first time you hang somebody and he dies with a boner.
Oh, Christ. Don't even ask what his sons will be doing.
His last words are, "Yeah, choke me, daddy."
Does anybody remember the movie Harvey? Because I constantly want to make movie jokes about the movie Harvey anytime QQ comes up, but I don't think anyone will understand them.
I don't know that movie.
It's about a guy talking to a puka that manifests as a giant bunny rabbit.
No, I don't think I remember that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. No, QQ is freaking solid. I've been trying to get him on my live stream.
So he says, "Can Guacman Jeb beat the alt-right?"
Jeb is going to win everything in 2020.
It's all going to Jeb.
I swear to God, man, our countries, like Western countries, are an absolute fucking joke right now.
I miss when Jeb was running. It was just like I had hoped we would like be able to make him like a fake Oval Office and let him pretend to be president. Like, I'm a big boy president, and Trump just pats him on the head. You sure are.
What's that animal detective movie where he's stuck in a fake world? Like, somebody should have set up a fake world for Jeb where he was president, but it's just a reality TV show, and we all watch Jeb on the Republican Party reservation pretending that he's president, and he doesn't even know.
The world's first autistic president.
Well, that would be perfect for Generation Z.
There's a lot of tism out there. I blame those chemicals in the water turning the frogs gay.
Oof. You know, I'd like to live in a reality where Alex Jones was wrong once in a while.
Alex Jones is never wrong.
I mean, it's not like he knows what the hell he's talking about. The guy is a completely insane conspiracy theorist. He just happens to be right, 100% of the time.
Alex Jones, I mean, this is fitting since it's October. Alex Jones is the guy in the horror movie no one believes till it's too late.
He's right for all the wrong reasons. I mean,
it's like, how could we know that there was really a demon killing all those kids, Alex? We just assume. How could we know?
What's that wonderful radio station they have down in Nevada? Radio at Night, where it's nothing but conspiracy theories.
Oh, Coast to Coast AM.
Yes, Coast to Coast. And they had a chick working on it last time I was listening to it. You know what? My mother listens to that shit when she goes to sleep every night.
Jeez.
My mother's awesome.
I used to listen to it a lot because, like, I working back in the day, I work second shift now, but back in the day, I worked second shift, so I'd be up really late. I'd be, my girlfriend at the time and all, we'd wander to Walmart and shit late at night, and I'd have that. I usually had the talk radio on. I've always preferred the talk radio, so yeah, it'd be like, just normal talk radio throughout the day, and then after midnight, it just turns into fucking insanity. All aboard the crazy train. Next stop, Bad Shit Central.
Yeah, there's nothing I loved more when I was staying in Vegas than like 3 a.m. I flip a coin. It comes up heads, I go to the bar. It comes up tails, I go to the fast food restaurant. You have so many fast food restaurants in the United States. It's amazing. You can do a different one every night. And so I'd like drive my shitty fucking car, which may or may not be insured. I'd drive it down those beautiful black Vegas roads down to the shop. I'd be listening to Coast and Coast AM. I'm eating my fucking chicken burger, and they're like, oh, fucking aliens and demonic possession. And it's like, just being paranoid is all shit. And it was wonderful.
I used to love going to the Walmart late at night. I remember one time I was out with a buddy of mine, and we were looking through the DVDs, and I let loose with a whole bunch of swear words, as I tend to do, and he's like, dude, and like behind me there's this little kid that just heard all of it, and I felt bad for a moment until I realized it's like 1:30 in the morning. Why is there an unaccompanied child wandering around?
Were they an immigrant?
No, it was a little white kid. Oh,
We got these coffee shops called Tim Hortons here in Canada. It used to be in a Canadian tradition. I've actually been in the original Tim Hortons. They have a big plaque on the ground. And Tim Hortons used to be this really good drive-through coffee and donuts and, nice and straight. These days, the coffee sucks. And especially if you go downtown, you go downtown to a Tim Hortons at midnight on a weekday, and there's an immigrant family with their immigrant children running wild all over the goddamn Tim Hortons. Apparently, none of them have to wake up in the morning.
There was, a good old-fashioned truck stop right near where my ex lived, probably close to over a decade ago. And I remember the one time where it was just a little bit before 2 a.m. we were there, and getting something to eat. And honest to God, the cook was smoking a cigarette while he was like cooking up eggs or something like that. He was cooking something on the griddle and just sitting there smoking a cigarette. And I'm like, that is extremely illegal. Like, never mind, this guy didn't have a hairnet. This guy's smoking a cigarette while he's cooking.
Yeah, back in high school, my favorite thing to do was, they passed a non-smoking law in Calgary, so you couldn't smoke in any of the fucking restaurants in the city limits. So me and my buddies, we'd drive out west towards Cochrane, and there's this Humpties, or there's whatever on the side of the highway there, right by the road that goes up to Cochrane. And we'd go there in the middle of the night, 2 a.m., and we'd order coffee and maybe breakfast or whatever, and we'd just sit there smoking fucking cigarettes and drinking coffee with the old grumpy waitress who's actually pretty cool, and just have a hell of a time. You're not allowed to do that anymore, are you? I mean, the closest thing that Gen Z comes to having a good time is, logging into Overwatch and not having any homosexuality come up.
It's no wonder these kids are all fucking autistic. I mean, what the hell where the hell do you even go? What do you do?
There's nothing to do. I mean, I try and find something to do, and I almost get kicked out of the bar for hate speech. You can't even go to a bar and have a conversation without somebody getting triggered these days. You got to be a fucking autist and log on to the internet and watch a goddamn YouTube live stream with a couple of drunk assholes.
Somebody in the chat says coffee with a side of pause. Well, that's what they serve at Starbucks.
Oh, God. By the way, I was at Starbucks a few days ago. So, Starbucks. Now, there's a law saying that you aren't allowed to smoke on patios anywhere, ever, no matter whatever, because we're legalizing pot, but you can't smoke a fucking cigarette that boosts your IQ on a patio. So I'm sitting on the patio of Starbucks, waiting for my buddy, smoking a fucking cigarette with my German Shepherd fucking combat dog, tied to my fucking chair. I'm sitting there smoking a cigarette. And there's this woman that's been kind of like walking back and forth by the doors to Starbucks. She hasn't bought a coffee. She's just like hovering around there. And even though I have a girlfriend, my old instincts kick in. And I'm kind of like looking around, scanning for terrorists, and I make eye contact with her. So I kind of I wink at her a little bit. Like, hey, baby, how's it going? And so she finally works up the minerals to speak to me. She says, did you see the non-smoking sign on your table? I give her a rakish grin. I say, yup. And I stare at her. A few seconds go by. So you just don't give a shit? Nope. And then she leaves. That's called flirting in the year 2017. This whole year of our Jesus Christ, lady. It's fucking 10 degrees outside. I'm sitting out here in an overcoat, shivering my ass off with my coffee going cold. And you're gonna bitch about me drinking fucking coffee next to a parking lot full of idling cars? Jesus Christ.
Tonight, the place I'm working is a place I worked at 10 years ago, and I quit it because the overtime was just excessive. And I actually, back then I had gone in to talk to the boss, and I said, look, you got to give me the part-time. I can't deal with this fucking overtime anymore. It's no way to live. And he goes, okay. And he had me wait 6 months for it, and then basically jerked me around until he finally said, oh, fuck you. I'm not giving it to you. I don't want to lose another full-time guy. Well, back then, I was a lot younger and a lot more hot-headed. So I walked away from my machine. I put my badge up at the area where all of our assignments were, like the dry erase board. I taped it on there, and I wrote I quit under it. I went and I took a shit, and I clocked out and went home. Well, I'm back at that same company now. And I ended up telling some of the guys I was working with how I quit last time. And they're like, I'm surprised they let you come back. And I'm like, well, so am I. But, I'm doing the part-time thing now, so I got what I wanted. Hey, Luke.
Yes.
Good to see you here. Could you show us first of all, could you show us good old Lindsay's been a bad girl. Could you throw that up? Could you throw this? I didn't want to mention it the way I had a picture, but Lindsay been naughty lately. This was a couple months ago, I guess, but somebody sent it to me today, and I threw it up on if you're on Facebook, follow me on there, the Bechtloff, and I'm on Gab. I'm not allowed on Twitter anymore because of my vile hate speech, but yeah, Lindsay got arrested a couple months ago for
Lindsay Ellis?
Lindsay Ellis got arrested a couple months ago for some drunk, disorderly conduct or whatever. What do you want to bet that fucking Todd paid her bail? Oh, I would bet every penny to my name that fucking cuck paid her bail. Went and got her, paid her bail.
No.
There she is. There's our girl.
She's
Public
looking towards
intoxication.
some dyke sex.
She's got that she's got that JVF hair right there. Let's see. So apparently her middle name is Carol. So we all learned a little something today. But yeah, Lindsay got in a little trouble recently. I just found that amusing. Mostly because she's bad and I want bad things to happen to her.
Isn't it funny how our side has all this messed up shit they were involved in, but we're getting better as time goes on, and their side gets increasingly messed up as time goes on.
Speaking of messed up, Luke, could you show us when I was talking about Cool Cat, Luke sent me this picture that honestly I almost died laughing when he showed. I laughed for almost 2 minutes straight when I saw this picture, to the point where my chest hurt, my stomach hurt from laughing. This is
that's a 4chan meme.
Well, that's actually fucking Cool Cat minus the top cat and Mountain Dew.
What the fuck is Cool Cat?
Cool Cat is the greatest thing ever.
He loves kids, folks.
Yeah, he loves babies too. Cool Cat is this thing that a madman came up with to teach see if you can bring up Cool Cat Saves the Kids or something, which is perhaps the greatest movie ever made by accident. I mean, people will say The Room is the greatest bad movie ever made. No. I would say it's Cool Cat Saves the Kids. This guy, he threw, and I mean, look at the Comic Sans and shit. It's just it's just so amateurish. And somehow this motherfucker has Eric Estrada and Vivica Fox in it. And he's the subject of serious interviews on Fox News. Cool Cat is the coolest cat in the world. And Butch the Bully, who's this fat little blonde kid in the movie, by the way, hates him because of it. So Butch always tries to bully Cool Cat and his friends. but Cool Cat is smarter, and Cool Cat saves the kids. A 75-minute film. And it's not even good advice to kids. Like early on, it's like people are sending him like quote unquote cyberbullying messages, and he's replying back like, "You would probably have more friends if you were nicer." And it's like that's exactly what a troll wants.
Wait, an anti-bullying kids gun safety? What the fuck?
Oh
Yeah,
man,
it's exactly what it sounds.
it is every bit as spectacular as it looks too. It is everything you anticipated more. It is. And then there's one scene in there where like I guess the daddy Derek is supposed to be Cool Cat's dad, and his wife is like another one of these cat demon monsters. And there is a scene where he is extremely inappropriately flirting with her in this fucking he's basically all like back that cat ass up or something in like a kids movie.
You know what? Look at the multiracial cast on the left-hand side there, with the exaggerated grimaces of grins. Can you blame them for saying like, well, at least I'm going to get some interracial sex out of this fucking movie? At least I'm going to get some color contrast between my dick and her pussy.
It is a spectacular movie. It really is. This
is fucking terrible. This looks like Japanese porn.
You're probably not wrong.
We go to America, have cat sex. Have cat sex, American peasant. We ride automobus like American peasant and eat at McDonald's burger. CoolCatLovesYou.com. Jesus fucking Christ. It's that like that's don't go to that URL because it expired 2 years ago and these days it's full of nothing but child pornography.
I'm pretty sure it was full of that from the get-go. Like I said, it's written by it's like you briefly explained humanity to an artificial intelligence and told it to write a kid show.
Cool Cat is the coolest cat in the world, and Butch the bully hates him because of it. So Butch always tries to bully Cool Cat and his friends, but Cool Cat is smarter, and Cool Cat says, "Gee, this is why we are inundated with SJWs these days."
It's funny that the kid's name is Butch because he does look like a butch lesbian. Like basically, imagine a small blonde version of Rosie O'Donnell.
Wait, is the little faggot kid with the blonde hair that probably got molested by Weinstein? Is that Butch?
No, it's this fat little blonde kid.
I swear to God, this one time I did a commercial I filmed a commercial for a children's book. So we had a bunch of kids and we like took them off into the woods. And they're
wait, where are we going with this?
Well, no, that's the thing. It's and their mothers just said, "Yeah, go whatever," and then they all went back to their smartphones. Like so, we're a couple of weird, creepy dudes with video cameras, and you're allowing us to take your daughters into the woods to do. You don't even know what we're gonna do for the next hour, and that's yeah. Go ahead. I just want my little princess to be famous.
You want her to be a star, don't you?
It's like clearly I'm not set up for Hollywood. I didn't molest any of the kids.
I think poor Vivica Fox turned down Harvey Weinstein once, and that's how she ended up stuck in Cool Cat Saves the Kids.
Well, yeah, this is what happens if you don't suck Harvey Weinstein's dick, but you suck the next dick that's coming up.
Butch the bully, not the hero we deserve, but the hero we need.
You see those two adults on the left-hand side? Those are the two adults that said, "No, my kid isn't going to suck your dick, but I will."
That's taking one for the team.
Yeah, so you get to be in the Cool Cat movie. Okay, well, you your kid didn't suck my dick, but you did, so we'll toss you a bone. When your daughter turns 14, teach her about dick sucking, then we'll talk again.
Somebody in the chat says Cool Cat masturbates several times during the movie, and he's not entirely exaggerating when he says that. Cool Cat does this weird thing, and I think it's supposed to look like a cat is like scratching his belly and his legs going, right? I think that's what was intended. Dear God in heaven, I hope that's what was intended. But it honestly, like several times, Cool Cat looks like he's jerking himself off in this movie. Like several times, he looks like he just decides to start beating off.
I really don't know if I'm too drunk or not drunk enough for this fucking chat.
I mean, honestly, like I'm watching a review of it, and the first time I saw him do that, I like for a brief second, I'm like, am I having a stroke? Did that just fucking happen?
Yeah, I'll tell you as a matter of fact that I've never looked over and wondered if Space Dog is masturbating. That just doesn't happen.
Well, I frequently wondered if Cool Cat was masturbating.
Then I think he probably was.
I'm quite certain he was as soon as the camera was off.
Oh, man. That's probably like a group shared underwear like in Disneyland.
Oh.
There are probably multiple actors for Cool Cats. Wait, what? Cool Cat stuff? Is that like a cartoon version? Yay, like Cool Cat, put your fucking arms down. You goddamn jackass. You're like a person in the comment section that writes in all caps.
I really, really want to watch this movie like live on a live stream. Like I don't want this guy crawling up my ass with a copyright strike, but man.
Yeah, this is some best of the worst stuff right here.
This is something special. It's magical. As I said, this is top shelf autism on display here. This is what happens when Jonathan Ross grows up. He creates a movie like Cool Cat Saves the Kids.
Yeah,
maybe Jonathan Ross and Cool Cat can team up to teach kids about bathtub safety.
Oh, bathtub safety. Don't let Harvey Weinstein in. What sort of self-righteous jackass in their mid-30s thinks that they are the expert on teaching kids about safety for bullying and handguns? Like, where's the conception of this movie even appear? Like, obviously, even though I have no children and I get reamed out of the bathhouse every weekend, clearly I'm the guy, I'm the person to teach kids about how to resist bullying. I resisted my bullying by getting pounded in the ass by 20 anonymous faggots, half of whom had the HIV.
Oh my God. I don't know if this guy's gay though. He sure seemed to love cat pussy in this fucking movie.
Oh. All gay guys like cat pussy. They just don't know how to get it.
Oh shit, man. Cool Cat.
I'm serious. Show me a faggot that hasn't stuck his finger in a vagina when it was offered. Show me one. One on the planet Earth.
Well, I don't.
Maybe Richard Spencer, but that's the exception that proves the rule.
I don't claim to have my finger on the pulse of that community.
Well, I went to college back in the early aughts, so I know a thing or two.
Oh man. So yeah, Friday I definitely am I'm gonna try and see if we can get some clips up or something. I wanna look at some Cool Cat stuff for the Friday show because it's magical. We all need to look at some Cool Cat. The world needs more Cool Cat to explain to us live streaming safety.
Did you ever see that?
That's the best part when they had the that was the best part of the like. And this guy, he apparently had like fucking Van Halen sign his guitar, right? And
Is Cool Cat wearing a skirt?
no, those are jean shorts because that's what cats wear. But this guy had, I guess, like Van Halen or some shit sign his guitar.
Why are his eyes red?
That's a meme. But he's talking about this in a kids movie, like anybody's gonna give a shit, and it's like the members of Van Halen. It's like, dude, I'm in my 30s and I'm barely old enough to give a fuck about Van Halen. And you're saying this in a fucking kid? Oh Jesus!
You know, I'm disappointed with that. Cool Cat doesn't have any tits, and also doesn't have a massive erection. I don't even know what this is.
The Cool Cat memes are fantastic.
Did you ever see that episode of Best of the Worst where they covered this? It was like a kids movie filmed on Shidio by an ex-porn star called Flying Jamie or something like that. And there are these really awkward romance scenes between the 10-year-old boy and the 11-year-old girl. And so Mike says, he describes the 11-year-old as that smoking hot chink or something like that. Because the scenes in the movie have so much sexual undertone to them. They are so fucking. But at the same time you're watching it, these like 8-year-old, 10-year-old actress, like they don't know how to do sexual chemistry because they haven't been raped by Weinstein yet.
And they're prepubescent.
Who is this again?
It's like flying Jamie or flying Amy or some stupid shit. But they keep, like, all the scenes are filmed in this really creepy, romantic 50 Shades of Grey way between these two, and the girl's older. That's. Oh my
there is a porn star in Cool Cat Saves the Kids. Somebody playing a cop is apparently a porn star, at least according to I Hate Everything.
Well, why not? I mean, they're in Hollywood. They might as well be. Like, if you're going to sell your soul, you might as well get some decent, cummies in the process.
I wonder if Harvey Weinstein raped Cool Cat.
Where is all of this coming from? Why have I never heard of Cool Cat before?
I don't know, man. I just heard of it like yesterday, and it's like a 2-year-old thing at least.
Why does Busby look so much like Michelle Obama?
Only slightly less annoying than Michelle Obama.
Slightly larger genitalia. Yeah, maybe they were just into pussy pumping.
Oh, there's Cool Cat. There he is.
Jesus Christ.
He's telling you right where you can go. You see that right over there? That's where you go fuck yourself.
QQ listens to the stream and becomes an agnostic. Loses his faith in God and freedom.
Ah, little baby.
My Jesus Christ. This is worse than the goddamn Ewok molesting the little boy.
Cool. Oh, that's Cool Cat's mom / this dude's wife. And he is very flirty with her in this movie.
So what Cool Cat is a product of interracial relations?
Interspecies relations.
Yeah, I guess Cool Cat's technically half human, but the human half doesn't seem to show that much. Like some people would look at those lips and say those are blowjob lips, but I look at those lips and like I'm pretty well endowed, but I just disappoint.
I guess he's supposed to be a cat as well, but I guess he couldn't get a costume.
Cool Cat stops bullying.
Now, what's creepier? What's creepier in that image? Cool Cat with his manic face, or the sexually awakened eyes of the 8-year-old girl?
No, that girl looks like one of those gray aliens from fucking X-Files.
Holy shit! Does the female cat have a strap on?
I think that's supposed to be.
This is a purse.
But yeah, that is
not
very interestingly placed.
That can't just be me.
That can't. That's not by. Like I can't unsee that now. Oh shit!
And it's pointed directly at the 8-year-old Asian girl. Did science fiction authors write this story?
Oh man.
Oh Christ! Like you'd need a horse cock to satisfy those lips, or like a Portuguese cock where it's wider than it is long. You know, it looks like one of those really fat Gatorades.
Let's bring some sanity back with Tom and Jerry.
Oh man, cool cat saves. It does look like a strap-on. It really does look like a strap-on. It's so perfectly positioned, and in the end of it looks like a head. Oh my god!
Look at the tail coming out too. That tail is not an accident. That's a facial.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up before I die laughing. This is just
too much. Why can't we ever watch children's cartoons without it turning into a sick? Oh god damn it! Oh that. I'm not okay with any of this. I mean, like, chick tracks are less creepy than this.
God has forsaken us. And can you blame him? Trust no. The memes are fantastic.
You know what? In Cool Cat's favor, at least they didn't spell cool with a K.
Well, then you'd have to spell cat with a K.
Huh.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up.
And then you'd have Cool Cat's Kitchen.
Cool Cat's Kitchen. That's the best cooking show ever. All right.
All right, wait. Before you close it up, let me rewind back to the early aughts, when finding weird porn was an accomplishment as opposed to something that's normal and to be ashamed of. So I was having a sit down at my favorite pub with a few friends, and we were talking about the most fucked up porn that we'd ever found. And my one friend was telling us about a porn about where it was several Asian girls and a character that he could only think of as the chef. And the porn was that this chef would put a whole bunch of eggs into an enema bottle and then enema the eggs into these Asian girls' assholes. And then they'd shit the eggs onto a pan and he'd fry them and then feed them to the Asian girls. And I think that might be what happens in Cool Cat's kitchen.
Jeez.
Thank God. You know what? Of all the things to thank God for, whatever the hell that fetish is that I just described, it did not become mainstream enough that we have a word for it.
Yet. All right. Well, Davis, thanks for being on. Luke, thanks for hopping in here. Everybody, I want to thank you all for listening. If you enjoy the show, there's the tip jar down below where you can send me some shekels, to pay for my legal fees after Daddy Derek sues me.
Close friend of Richard Spencer, by the way.
No doubt. Can't wait till Cool Cat gets everybody woke on fucking racial relations.
Cool Cat will be the next runner for the Democrat Party 2020. Cool Cat 2020.
He's got my vote.
Better than Hillary Clinton, at least.
All right. I want to thank you all for listening. Thanks, guys, for being on. That's all we got for tonight. Bechtloff out.